Oh, so exciting. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Why is it going weird now? It's gone rogue. I don't know why. It's doing a thing. I'm trying to fix it. I may not be able to fix it, but I'm trying. I think I fixed it. Amazing. Amazing. I'm really excited for today's video. Hi, how you doing, guys? I just filmed a video and I mentioned what I'm going to mention right now, just in case you missed that one. I burned my head with a curling iron. So talented, part of me. It's great. My eyes are swollen because my allergies are acting up, so if my eyes look weird. I woke up this morning with and here I am, so. But the makeup's so cute, and I wanted to do this video because I was thinking about this the other night, and I thought, let's go ahead and talk about makeup brands that we think are kind of like falling off, and we could also, chat about in the comments. And I figured it would be kind of cool to do that because, yeah, I mean, these are brands that I was thinking about that they were like heavy hitters, and no one's really talking about it that much anymore. So that's what today's video is about, and if that sounds cool, and you don't mind looking at my swollen eyeballs and my burnt forehead, then let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do, if you haven't already, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, come hang out on my channel. It'd be really great to have you here. And with that being said, let's get started. I was just chilling last night, I was watching a program, and I was thinking, my God, I was scrolling also online because I was looking to see if there were any more Rare Beauty lip glosses that were available, and if there's not. So yeah, because the sale's still going on currently, and I thought I'd just go ahead and take a look. But I started to think about these brands that used to be so huge and just kind of like, just kind of petered out. And I think a big reason for that is that, things have changed, and it's happened throughout the years. Things that were once like huge and talked about, just kind of like go away to make way for new things that people will start to talk about and be excited about. So it's kind of like the natural order of things. But also I feel like because of the state of the world, I mean, once the pandemic hit, I feel like people's shopping habits have changed dramatically. We're not out there like buying stuff like we were back in 2017, 2018 when makeup was like at its height, and all kinds of people, we were just out buying all kinds of stuff, and there was a new brand and a new launch like every week, and it was bedlam. It's not the same anymore. It's like now food costs and gas and everything is just so expensive. We don't really have, at least I know I don't, to go out and just shop, whenever I feel like it and buy whatever I want. It's just not the reality any longer. But regardless of that fact, there's some brands that like popped in my head that I used to love so much that I wanted to just kind of like, I don't know, chat about it with you guys. And the first brand that came to my mind was Versali. I mean, I remember on my honeymoon, I had that Jelly Beam highlighter with me, and I loved it. I was just crazy over the moon for it. I never tried the priming drops because I'm not a primer girl. I'm not really into that kind of thing, but I know a lot of people really got into those priming drops, and it was like, Versali, you couldn't turn on a video without hearing about it, and now no one talks about them anymore. I think I decluttered that highlighter, if I'm not mistaken, because it had dried out, but yeah, I just remember being so in love with it, and now it's like crickets. What happened to Versali? They're like gone. I don't know. It's freaking weird. And let me just say before I go any further, if these are like your jam and you love these brands, it's not anything personal. These are just my thoughts, and it's just for us to go ahead and have like this opportunity to like talk about it and just have this moment because I thought it would be fun. So it's not in any way meant to like shade these brands or whatever, if it's your favorite or something like that. It's not even about that. It's just a little chatty moment. And with that, my second one that made the list was Too Faced. They have that very expensive lip plumper that burns the hell out of your mouth. In fact, I bought it, and I have used it all but maybe twice, and it just didn't do much of anything for me. And I just feel like all of it in general is just kind of played out, and they had some scandals, they had some things going on, and I think that really hurt them quite a bit. And I just don't think that they ever really made it back. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, it's just not that exciting anymore. They're not keeping up, and I'm sure it's really difficult. I mean, considering that there's so many makeup lines out there, and all these famous people are coming out with their own brands, and it's all over the place. But I really feel like Too Faced kind of fell off, and they haven't really come up with anything that has caught my attention in quite a few years. But for a minute there, they were all the rage. And that Born This Way concealer, I would use it all the time. I don't use it anymore. I love the Fenty one, and I actually really love the one from from, it's so yucky, from Glossier. I love this one. It's great. I don't really talk about him that much anymore. I'm just not that into him. So what do you think? Too Faced? Is that on the chopping block? How do you feel about Too Faced? Oh, just my thoughts. The next one I want to talk about is Lorac. Does anyone really talk about Lorac that much anymore? I know that their palettes show up in subscription boxes, you know, from time to time, but for the most part, no one really talks about their eyeshadow palettes. It used to be huge. Everyone was using Lorac eyeshadow palettes. I don't personally own one. I feel like I kind of got really, really into makeup around the time when it was already kind of like mellowing out and so many other things were happening that it was easy to get distracted by all these other palettes that were just being created and being amazing and out there. So Lorac never really like caught my eye, but I know that I've walked by a few times and seen some products and just been like, oh, you know, looks nice, and I'm sure the formula's nice. I mean, I wouldn't know, but seems like it's cool. Anyway, yeah, it's one of those brands that I feel like has really kind of hit snooze and is no longer really making the headlines. It's not really making the cut, you know? The next one I put on there is Jouer, and even though their packaging is beautiful and their products are really nice, no one's really talking about Jouer that much anymore. I have a blush and highlighter duo, I think, from Jouer that I got from Friends Beauty because I got a discount, but their stuff it's expensive, and although it's pretty, they're not really doing anything that's so groundbreaking that makes me want to gravitate toward their products. So that's one that I've really hit the snooze button on. I haven't bought anything from Jouer in a while. It's been a minute. Do you have anything from Jouer? Let me know in the comments. Have you purchased, or do you find their products still exciting at all? Just curious, you know, just want to know your thoughts on that. But Jouer was one that definitely made the list. Another one that made the list that had me thinking for a minute and kind of got me a little sad was Urban Decay. Urban Decay, even though they're coming out with stuff, you know, they have a foundation they came out with, they're still doing things, but they're not the it girl anymore, in my opinion. They used to be cutting edge. Everyone, oh, Urban Decay, so edgy, so out there. I have an eyeliner from them. I think it's great. It lasts for a long time, and you know, I like it. But I'm not rushing to buy anything from Urban Decay these days. And they got that collaboration they did in honor of Prince. It was heartbreaking to me. It was like it missed the mark entirely, honestly. And I feel like I wish Pat McGrath had gotten that instead. My humble opinion. I think Pat McGrath would have knocked it out of the freaking park. It would have been epic. It would have been something really amazing. But Urban Decay, I think they made the effort. It was a valiant effort, but it really did fall flat, you know, for me personally. And I grew up listening to Prince, so I was excited about it. And then when I saw it, I was like, I feel nothing. It was really, really a shame. It didn't really even make me think that much of Prince, to be honest. It was just kind of like, okay, so that happened. I did have a palette from them, a small one, the Born to Run palette that I used in my final for my makeup class, my course, when I finished and got my little certification. But I never touched it again. It was just kind of like collecting dust. I may have decluttered it. I'm not certain, but I think I might have. It might be gone. Just not that into it. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. The next one I want to talk about is Nars. Is anyone still excited about Nars? I mean, they have some things that are cute, but I haven't purchased anything from them in a while. I know they did a foundation also that everyone was talking about for a minute, but for the most part, Nars isn't really doing a thing for me anymore. You know, they did the whole orgasm thing. I feel like they really played that out for a long time. They're still kind of doing it, and I know they want to be the cheeky kind of like, you know, with all the suggestive names of things and stuff like that, but even then, it's still kind of not, doesn't make it exciting. It doesn't make me want to go out and purchase their products just because they, you know, word things a certain way. It's like, doesn't really do it for me. And I think the brand in and of itself is, you know, kind of like loses me. I'm not really interested in buying their products. It's just not, it's not doing it for me. It doesn't make me want to go out there and spend whatever little extra money I have. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel the same way, or do you still like Nars? I don't know. Asking for a friend. It's me. It's just me. The next one is Tarte, and I know they recently had like this brand thing. They did the trip. They're like trying to make the comeback with the brand trips, and it was like very scandalous. And people were doing all these videos of remember when and this, that, and the other, and they were kind of doing shady stuff. But it still didn't make me want to like go out and buy anything from Tarte. I can say that I love Park Avenue Princess. In fact, I have it in my kit, and that was a bronzer that I thought was, and still think is very pretty. But since then, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I'm probably not their demographic, I guess. I guess Estee Lauder would be more my, but it's not. I like all kinds of stuff, but just saying, age-wise, probably not going for my age group. But I'm just not excited by Tarte. I go to Ulta and I walk by their setup all the time, and it just doesn't do anything to pull me in. It's just kind of there, and you know, it's cute, but it's just, I don't know, it's not doing anything for me. I just don't feel anything, no excitement. So yeah, I could say bye to Tarte. It wouldn't make me sad.
There's the door, bitch!
Just saying. The next one we're going to talk about might be a little controversial. The OG MAC. Does anyone buy anything from MAC anymore? I mean, I don't know. I haven't bought anything from MAC since that mascara that I got. That really was a letdown. Supposedly it was supposed to like lift and lengthen and do all kinds of amazing things for my lashes. It did absolutely nothing, and it was expensive. Now MAC does have prestige. It's been, you know, around for a while. Like I said, it's the OG, so I certainly think it's great. I think their lipsticks are pretty, but I don't get excited about the brand. I know that back in the day, people wanted to work there. They were like buying everything that MAC came out with. Everybody wanted MAC. It was the most talked about, the most beloved. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that still love and stand this brand, but I don't know. MAC is just kind of, again, like these other ones, it's just hit the snooze button, and it's just not really doing anything that has been so revolutionary that makes me want to rush out and buy their stuff. I mean, there's some staple products like the Fix Plus and all that for fixing, you know, makeup issues and things like that. I think that'll always be like a staple and something that they can lean on. But after a while, like even Urban Decay with their all-nighter spray, I mean, there's so many other ones to choose from these days. It's kind of like, and not as expensive. I don't know. MAC is kind of fallen off in my opinion. I just don't think they're as exciting as they used to be, but they did have a moment. You know, they did, and they will always be the OG, so I respect that. The next one I'm going to talk about, this kind of pains me a little bit because they create my favorite mascara, and it is Pure Cosmetics. I love this mascara. It actually works for my little tiny lashes and makes them do something that is actually suitable and pretty and wearable. But since their Raw Beauty Christie collab, which went off, they couldn't even like handle the volume of people that came in to buy that palette. I have that palette too, by the way. Since then, what are they really doing? What's Pure up to these days? Does anyone know? Because I haven't talked to her in a long time. I'm a little worried, and I wonder, is she all right? Because I feel like she's kind of doing a Sleeping Beauty, and no one really cares. I mean, I wonder how much longer she's going to hang in there, because not a whole lot's going on. I mean, if they do go, God, I will so very much miss my mascara, but I'll have to look for another one, I guess. I don't know, but Pure's not really doing it, you know what I mean? It's just not really happening. The next one I have is IT Cosmetics. Now I know that they have, you know, face creams and stuff like that, but when I think of IT Cosmetics, I did use the CC cream on my wedding day, and I did recently get, like, I think I have 2. I haven't even touched these. I have 2 of these. It does nothing for me. I am not excited about this brand. This brand doesn't do anything for me. I don't want to rush out and buy it. It's not doing anything that's revolutionary or new. It's not doing anything that's like catching my eye. It's just kind of there, and it's been there for a while. I do like their brushes. I have quite a few of their brushes that I've gotten when they were on sale because they tend to be a little pricey. But other than that, nothing. It's just not. I don't know. I'm not excited about them. I don't want to rush out and buy anything from them. I literally have these sitting here. I'm probably going to give these to my sister, I have a feeling, because I know I'm not going to use them. Next on the chopping block, and this one takes me back, is Bare Minerals. I did a video, I think it was like maybe 3 years ago, where I got like a little Bare Minerals set, and I was just kind of like trying it out because I hadn't used their products in such a long time. I can remember when they first came out, I loved Bare Minerals. I would use their products all the time. I thought they were amazing. How revolutionary. A powder foundation I could just, you know, whip on real quick, and it would do the coverage. It looked cute, and out the door I went, and it was supposedly good for your skin, and I don't know. It was doing a thing, and it was all the rage. Everybody was using Bare Minerals. Now you don't hear a word. It's crickets. It's like, it's the dead zone. No one's touching them. No one's talking about them. It's actually kind of sad. I'm wondering how they're even hanging in there after all this time, because it's like, I walk by their little setup when I go to, it's like Publix. Do you use Bare Minerals? Have you thought about Bare Minerals in a while? I mean, has anyone? I feel like, does that sound mean? I feel like not that many people are talking about them anymore. I feel like it was the brand that was the moment. Everyone loved it. It had its moment, and then it kind of went away. I don't know, just my thoughts. But I haven't used anything from them in forever. Just, you know, I don't think we're going to have Bare Minerals around much longer. It's my humble opinion. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You never know. The next one I want to talk about is Smashbox. Again, it's Primer City for Smashbox, but they were also that edgy kind of like cool brand that you wanted to buy from and all that stuff. And a lot of people, some people still talk about them. It's not like I haven't heard, anything about Smashbox, but not as much as they used to. And I think they collabed with Becca before Becca stopped producing products. I think they have a highlighter that has the same kind of, that saucer style deal. It looks really cool, but it doesn't make me want to buy it. I mean, it's not doing anything that makes me want to like grab it. So I feel like Smashbox is another one that's kind of like dipped down a bit, and not that many people are talking about it anymore. It's just not as thrilling as it once was. The last one I want to talk about, and I don't know how you're going to feel about this one, if you're going to agree with me or not, but it's one that I think is pretty much should either go down to like one thing or just needs to like kind of go away altogether. Well, maybe not go away altogether. Maybe just kind of like downsize a little bit. And it's Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think that when Norvina started happening, we just got inundated with all of these expensive big palettes, just volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000, 6,788 to 28 billion in one. I don't know. It was a lot. And we went into, at least for me, it was Anastasia Beverly Hills overload. I know they had the Amarizi, what was it? It was that highlighter that everyone was going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over, and then they took it away, and then they came back with another one, and I don't even know why. They had something really amazing, and they got rid of it. Why would you do that? Confusing. But I think they have their staple products. I think they're great for brow products. Absolutely. I give them that. And maybe they should go down to just that and just do the brow thing, because I just feel like they're not doing anything that's, so exciting anymore. Again, like the rest of these brands that I've been talking about, I feel like they had their moment and they were amazing. I mean, you couldn't throw a rock without hitting something that had Anastasia Beverly Hills a part of it. Someone wearing their eyeshadow, or, they had the foundation that did a thing for a minute. But I feel like the time has come and gone, and it's really easy to walk right by it and not pay attention to it, because it's just not exciting anymore. I think that if they just stuck to the brow stuff, I think that would be cool, but I just don't see them, really making that big wow comeback moment. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, it's doing nothing. It's just kind of there. Do you feel the same way, or do you love Anastasia Beverly Hills? I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because, I love talking to you guys about these things, especially when I sit there, I think about you guys and think about, oh my God, it'd be so fun to have this conversation. And that's exactly how I was feeling. Like last night, I was like, oh my God, how cool. Even with my swollen freaking eyeballs, I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to sit down today and we're going to talk about this, because I feel like, with the influx of all these brands, and it's still happening, even though the world's on fire for the most part, it's still happening. You got Rare Beauty is killing it. Fenty is still making headlines. You got House Labs, since they did their revamp. It's freaking amazing. There's so many brands out there that are just like shockingly good, that these brands that we once, loved are no longer being talked about. And I think they're fading into the distance more and more with each passing day. And with every new launch, they get just a little more like left behind. I don't know. Some of them I'd love to see make a comeback, and do a thing that gets everybody talking about them again. I think it would be nice to see Jouer do something good. It would be nice to see Pure do something good. Maybe do another collab, something to like bring a little life back into the brand. Some of these that I talked about, even though they're fading into oblivion, not fading into oblivion, but, kind of not being as, like, exciting as they used to be, I don't think they're really going anywhere necessarily, because they are staples, and they're, like, MAC and Nars, and, there's some that I think will stick around for a while, but some, I think, if it keeps going like this, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, there's a lot of brands that didn't make it through the pandemic. Like Bite Beauty couldn't survive. I think they're online now, though, but they're not doing as much as they used to. I think they're just doing their lippies. But there's a lot of brands. That's just one to mention that couldn't survive. Just didn't happen, and it's really unfortunate. But I guess it also is, like I said, it's kind of the natural order of things. We have things that are like hot, shining bright for a moment, and then they kind of fizzle out and fade away. And this is the list that I came up with. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. List that you have of your own that you think are kind of like on their way out. I was thinking like KVD vegan beauty experience, even though they had that's not the right, you know what I mean. Even though they had the Apple deal and they had the new serum thing, I still feel like people aren't really as excited about them as they used to be. And they're just not being talked about as much as they used to be. It's just, I think after the whole thing that happened, the big debacle and all the ness of stuff that went on, I think that they just struggle to recover, and I don't know that they will. I mean, they're hanging on, but it's just not what it once was. You know what I mean? So that's another one that kind of like makes the list at the very end. And yeah, I've been rambling so much. That's it for me today, guys. I just wanted to sit down and share with you. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye!